You've just wrapped up a research sprint, hours of interviews, usability studies, and feedback sessions. Now you're sitting on a mountain of recordings, transcripts, post-it notes, and ideas. You hop on a quick 15-minute call with your stakeholders, and they say, all right, tell us what you learned. And that's where our question comes in. How do you effectively present research findings to stakeholders with limited time and attention? First, you want to focus on the high impact insights. If you try to present every single thing that you learned in your research, you're going to overwhelm your stakeholders and dilute the message. You want to present findings that have the biggest potential impact on your product, the user experience, and your business goals. For example, if you were doing research on an e-commerce site, you might have a bunch of feedback on the colors, the style of a button, or what type of product image people prefer. But if users were trying to buy something on the site and getting frustrated or confused about how to check out, that's probably going to be higher on the priority list to present, address, and fix. Now, focusing on these high impact findings does not mean you're throwing everything else away. You want to keep those findings to come back to later or to offer to your stakeholders or your team to check out if they want a deeper dive into the research. Tip number 2, use visual and emotional highlights. It's important for us and our stakeholders to connect with the real people behind that research. Use research artifacts like quotes, feedback, or short video clips to illustrate some of the biggest frustrations or pain points. Having a vague idea that your checkout process could be improved is a lot different than seeing a recording of a real person, potentially a paying customer, struggling and frustrated to enter their credit card information. The point is not to overwhelm your stakeholders with a ton of artifacts or recordings. Remember that a few powerful examples can really go a long way. Presenting research findings concisely and effectively comes down to 2 things: focus and connection. Cut your presentation down to those high impact findings and use artifacts to build connection and empathy between your stakeholders and the real people that are using your product. When done well, your presentation will go way beyond just sharing your findings. It'll inspire action, improvements, and trust in the research process.